Tupua, e te tiro nei, ki te tira o e waka. Tēnei te mihi atu ki a tātou katoa e hui matai nei, I raro e te tuanui I tēnei ware. Ke o koutou ngā iwi take o te wā, me o koutou ngā whenua, tāngata whenua, e mihi ana. Kia ku a pāhake, kia ku kaumātua, kia ku tuakana teina, e mihi. What a beautiful day. I'm absolutely honoured and privileged to be here today to speak to you all about our beautiful awa. Thank you to Shane for encouraging all of those of you who have not been to the pavilion to do so. My name is Sheena Maru. I had an interesting question the other day as to someone who said to me, tell me about your role. Shane has introduced me today in what I do, but for me, my role at home is one, I'm a granddaughter, two, I'm a mother, and one day I'll be a kuia as well. That's my most important role that I play. I also do have a role to play when I'm at home at my marae. I take good care of those who come. I support all of our marae, and I also do things in our community to bring understanding, knowledge, and learning about who we are as Whanganui, about Te Awa Tupua. Another person asked me a question, will you be ready for today? Have you prepared? I said to that person, we've been preparing for the last 200 years. Centuries in the making have our tupuna, my forebears, they had been providing the fight. Today, I'm here to tell you very quickly about that fight. You see, in 2017, after a number of, opportunities of discussion, we finally were able to cross the line. Yesterday, we specifically mihi to Minister Mahuta, who at the time was in opposition for our Crown. She stood inside that Parliament and she recognised all the fight that our tupuna had did. She recognised for those who had lost their lives, for those who had continued to inspire and empower all of us to ensure that we stood up, and were brave in who we were to continue to fight. Might I say, since 2017, it was a tough battle to get, for the first time in law, the innate values of tupua te kawa, which are Indigenous values, might I add, to be enshrined in law. That puts the river in place first. That puts the river in place second. So anything that I do, my colleagues do, my whanaunga do, community does, anyone around the world would first think about what does the river require and what does the river require second. You see, that was a tough journey, but it's only just begun. I recall that day in 2017, we were Ruaka Marae and Rānana, Whanganui River, and actually we had a busload of ambassadors who were travelling in Aotearoa, and they came up. They turned up a little bit green because the parapara is quite a way. But they were overcome and they were overwhelmed with what had been achieved. But that day, many of our kuia and our pāhake and some of my tuakana who are no longer here, and you will see her in the exhibition, and that is Esther Tinido. They stood on that marae with all their pride. They carried that reo pōhiri, the way in which we conduct ourselves, and call to all of those around the motu. We call to those who have lost, but we also call to those who are not yet realised. You see, for centuries we have prepared for this, and for centuries more we are going to be here. That is what is not ever going to change. Our innate values, tupua te kawa, ko tawa ko te awa ko, for I am the river and the river is me, is never going to change. I love the kōrero the other day in terms of the Imarati and how they have sat and they said, we will. And that's what we've been doing. We sit inside our houses, we host people from around the world, not so much at the moment, but we have in the past. And we say to them, sit inside your houses, come into your ware wānanga, kōrero. It's tough, it's not all pretty. And that's what we are saying. We need to build understanding, we need to empower one another to have the conversation. We want to be here, and we are here today to encourage anyone and everyone to think about Indigenous values. Think about what those will bring to you, because I tell you what, when we are struggling to find solutions to the future, you have to return to your origins. I also mihi today to Ngā Pua. She's the narrator in the story inside of the pavilion. Go and see her. She's my leader. I might have a chairperson role, but she's tomorrow's future talking today. So for us in Whanganui, succession is a big thing. I've come into my role, and it's after a huge legacy. And I say to myself, do not muck this up. And I say to myself, we need to do this together. So I'm really privileged and humbled to be here, especially to Ngāhiwi, for everything that you've done to put Te Aratini on the stage. We want to be able to back you, Minister Mahuta, to tell the world we're right behind you. It might be called Foreign Affairs. For us, that's about whakawhanaungatanga. Sorry, that's my mita. It's about whakawhanaungatanga. Oh, that's also my mita as well. Hoi anō, we are right behind you all. We ask you to stand up. We ask you to join with us. We ask you to think about everything, because when you change the function and the form and you give away the power and the struggle and the hold that you have on our river, and you let the people at place just be, because they're the ones who are never going to leave there. They're the ones who are always going to host and welcome any manuhiri down into the marae, anyone along the road. Think about them. Ask them what the solution is. Give them the power that they should have always had. You see, everyone, that's the problem that we've had. We've been told, no, you don't know. I've got my this and that and this and that and my A, B, C, D, E, F, G after my name, and I know better than you. I've got my Western science. I've got my te mea, but really, my uncle who lives on that corner of the awa and at that marae knows more than any doctor will ever know about what it's going to take to put this all back together. So friends, so family, I say to you today, and I didn't ask you a question, but if anything, our pavilion asked you to walk into your own tupuna. Walk into there. Let the awakarahi flow over you. Let te waitoiora find you, so that you will be able to, 1, be calm, 2, have clarity, and 3, continue to work together. Finally, my message to you is that whilst we are all here under our rauputahitanga, and that is about me, I've got 100 people behind me, 100 people beside me, and I've got thousands to come before me. I ask you to make sure that your decisions and every decision that you do is done well, because we are responsible for the future, but we have to make some changes. So I am absolutely, as I say, privileged to be here today. I recognise all of them that have come. I recognise everyone that is at home and all other at home. And I encourage everyone to be able to be brave, to be strong, to, in yourselves, take care of your awa, take care of your maunga, take care of your whenua for future generations. If I can leave that with you, that is the Te Awa Tupua. If I can leave that with you, that is tupua te kawa. Look us up, call us out to us, and we will hear you. And we'll be privileged to host you. So when you need to, come to the river and ask for the solutions. We will be there for you. Nō reira, e te iwi, tēnā koutou, te roma tātou katoa.